I'm here at the Iroquois Museum, and you can see behind me our creation story of when Sky Woman fell from the sky. We had that, what you call leadership or power, since she came here, since she formed Turtle Island. You will see on this side 3 sisters, corn, beans, and squash. She grabbed those seeds and put them here, where they grew from her daughter. These symbols or paintings that you see that come from the Haudenosaunee artists that we represent here and the craftspeople, our lifeways, our culture is interwound and interweaved in the stories and the paintings and the sculptures and the gastoas and anything that the Haudenosaunee people make. Their identity comes through in that. So when you say leadership roles or the power of the women right from the beginning is to teach our children who they are with nature, who they are with their clan, who they are with their fellow Haudenosaunee people, as well as the other the other indigenous people. It's a long story, and they're beautiful stories. And I say stories, but to me, there are life ways. Those are living, those are breathing life ways. When I tell my children the story, creation story, it's told not as a fairy tale, not as a myth. This is who you are. And I was brought up that way. And I try very hard and diligently to bring my children up that way, even though my children's daddy's Algonquin. They're still on a Daga Beaver plan. The Haudenosaunee women in your non-indigenous world were viewed as having these rights that your founding suffragists, so they call them, what's her name, Susan B. Anthony, Elizabeth Stanton, and Lucretia Mott, they were amazed. They were amazed that these Iroquois women, you call us Iroquois too, again, I told you I'd be doing those interchangeable words because you understand this as Iroquois. They were amazed at the Iroquois, the Haudenosaunee women, of what they had. Equality. Equality, what is equality? I don't have no more equality than you because I respect you, fellow man, but you, I decide if you're going to be chief. I decide you're faith keeper. It was the women who had that kind of, the usage of word power, right. They had the right to decide when they were going to go to war or not go to war. They decided who was going to get food and land, and it was divided among the clans. And if they didn't want their men going to war and the men wanted to go to war, well, then you're not getting no food to travel with. That's how powerful those women were. They could remove a chief if he did not live up to the great law, or if he did not live in balance with the harmony of the nation. If he was a thief, or if he abused women, he could be removed, and they call that dehorning him, taking his horns off. The same with faith keepers. The faith keeper's role was to keep calm and peace when there were challenging times among the Haudenosaunee, when there was fear, when there was doubt of passing on or striving to these challenging moments in our history with the non-indigenous world. The faith keepers were to let the people keep your faith, be strong, keep passing this on. We can't let ourselves fade away. So these were powerful roles for the clan mothers and the faith keepers. Another role of the clan mother, she had to remember all of the clan names. When the children were born, she'd give the name of that child. And don't ask me how she knew, because the names my children have, you grow into them. I grew into my name. I didn't like my name at first when I was a teenager rebel. Audacio meant the ability to conform, the ability to change to the vessel that is needed. It's called good clay. If you ask my brother, he'd say, oh, that's just mud, they just told you that. Anyhow, I've learned to accept that. And the roles that I've taken on in life, and even being here, is that ability to share and to conform to what is needed. And what is needed today, especially in today's world, is to show you that we are still here, we'll continue to be here, we still practice our cultural ways. Whether you become a lawyer or a chef We have many, many Haudenosaunee women that I would just like to make mention of. First and foremost to me was a very good woman. She's a very good friend of mine, and her name is Virginia General, and she taught me compassion and to share without judgment. And she's from Six Nations. She's Wolf Clan. And then you have my niece, Heather LaForme. She's the Director of Children and Family Services in New York State. She's to ensure, in that title role that she has, but with her cultural background, is to ensure the safety of our Haudenosaunee children, and they're not being adopted out anymore or kidnapped. But she also has to look first at the safety of those children. And then you have Beverly Jacobs, who's a lawyer. She's from Six Nations, and she's now the Director of Law Studies at the University of Windsor. And I respect her and have been following her steps and advancement in her career for years. And then you have Wendy Hill. She's a spiritual advisor, and she helps women, not just women, other people that are in pain from traumas. She holds healing workshops or sessions with the people that request her. And of course, then you've got Tanya Brandt. She's one of the great Mohawk indigenous chefs. And she's bringing back the knowledge to the people of how to prepare our healthy foods. We don't need that white flour and that sugar and that salt and that lard. We need what she grows and cans herself and teaches, and I've tasted some of her food. So we have many of those, whether they're in law, politics, executive directors of friendship centers, working in the court system. And what we're trying and what we've been doing is not just revitalizing, we're nurturing our culture and making sure that it carries on to the children. And that is the role of women, is to ensure our survival in our cultural ways. Everything that we do, everything that we say, everything that we teach, sure, we're human and we have challenges, and we can hurt, we can fall down, but we have our teachings and our culture to lift us back up. And these women, the grandmothers and the faith keepers, lift us back up and to stand strong with that tree of peace. We're not to let that fall. And if that means it starts to fall, we have to hold it up so that it doesn't ever touch the ground. We need to, and we will. We're proving it. We will continue to be here. And I want to share this with you because that is one of the powers of the Haudenosaunee women, and to embrace it and to respect it. There was respect when Sky Woman came down. And we teach our children respect. We teach our young boys respect for women. The respect is life-giving. I don't know how to express it and say that it's taught to them from the time they're young until they leave this world. The respect for women, Mother Earth, Grandmother Moon. Those symbols are all about respect.